Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Phil. We're in the workshop and you are watching Weekly Update episode 21. And there are a lot of things going on, so I will just jump right into it. And if you hear a lot of hammering in the background, it is because we have new neighbors moving in to the salon just down the hall. The big news is that next week, Tuesday, May 16th, I will be on the road with Aloxxi, and I will be shadowing my first ever Aloxxi seminar as a creative advisor with none other than Lisa from Aloxxi. And many of you know the story that Lisa is the one that began my recruitment way back when, last year, and she's been part of my journey with Aloxxi every step of the way. So it's an absolute honor to be able to have my first session in salon shadowing Lisa. That's just incredible, and I can't wait to give you guys the update next week on how that seminar goes. Other really big news before I get into the discussion part of this week's episode is that Reuzel is back. So I have to thank Steph from Unique Salon Concepts. She and I had a great visit last week and spent a lot of time talking about how to get Reuzel back here in the shop. I had been looking for a way to bring Reuzel back for my barbering clients, and it was just cost prohibitive no matter which way I did the figures. And then I discovered that Unique, they not only supply Reuzel, but they have reps here in Connecticut that I could work with. So Steph came down. We looked at the stuff that I want to continue supplying here with Reuzel and the stuff that going forward I don't necessarily see being huge winners. So with that, my first box of Reuzel from Unique came in last week, and in it I made sure that I had the new Reuzel clay pomade and the brand new Reuzel fiber pomade. So to kick off the Reuzel era part 2, I brought back my old school shark fin hairstyle. And many of you remember that this is the wacky hairstyle I was wearing when I first became a Reuzel dealer. So I thought tonight's episode would be kind of fun, rocking my old shark fin with Reuzel, but in a whole different way. So with that, I will go into my discussion part of this week's episode. One of the most frequently asked questions I have received lately is, what is new in barbering? And that's a really great question because, as we know it, barbering honestly has been around for over 2,000 years as a cultural norm. And in the past 5 to 10 years, it's been rapidly changing. And then this year, 2017, going into spring, summer, is when we start to see a lot of looks changing. Obviously, it's getting warmer, so hairstyles need to be shorter and better maintained for the warm weather. But then the question comes in, what is new, what is current, and what's on trend for this spring and summer? And what I've been seeing, and this is all through social media, this is through a lot of celebrity stuff in movies, videos, YouTube creators. What I'm starting to see is the re-emergence of a lot of texture in barbered haircuts. So right now I have my shark fin. It's very, very uniform, very slicked back in all kind of like one direction in one line from start to finish, from front to mid to back. So texture is defined as like the separations, the individual pieces, individual lines, and individual layers, more visually obvious in a haircut or hairstyle. We're seeing a lot of forward cuts where the hair is progressively shorter to longer but moved forward and down. We're seeing a lot of loose, messy texture on top of individual layers. We're seeing a lot of variations on slightly longer and darker sides with a low fade. We're starting to see hair coming back in places where the past couple of years we were taking high fades. Now, of course, my bald sides are probably not the best example of a low fade or a textured haircut, but through the photos that I've been seeing on Instagram, the content creators I've been seeing on YouTube, and then celebrities and movies and whatnot, we're starting to see a lot of evolution in, again, side part with like a swoop kind of feel. We're seeing pompadours still being really big, and actually here in the workshop we cut a lot of pompadours, as many of you know and wear. This year, 2017, as far as looks go, we're also getting into a lot of different hair care questions with barbering. And that's something that's very prominent now, I guess, in the business, and you're seeing leading barbering instructors talk about shampoos. You're seeing a lot of barbering instructors and professionals delve more into product knowledge. You're seeing a lot more normalized use of hair dryer and brush in a lot of barbering videos. So the point is that barbering is changing because it's taking on more of a hairdresser cosmetology kind of feel, which I think is awesome, because merging the hair care and the finishing styles from the cosmetology side with the barbering specific hair cutting methods and products, I think it's really starting to grow into its own sort of contemporary update of barbering. So what does that mean for you, my adoring public out in weekly update world? It means that with your next haircut, we are going to have a lot more options as far as looks. So I think it's going towards a very contemporary adaptation of the classics. One of the other big shifts into the modern barbering world is that the gentleman's cut, the set part on one side, a weight line, and length combed over to a low fade. I think that business cut, or that classic cut, is more prominent now than it has been in recent years. And the reason why is because it's maintainable to every head shape, to most lifestyles, and keeping it kind of low and tapered is a very easy cleanup in 2 or 3 weeks before your next 4-week visit. So we're seeing things change. We're seeing the contemporary haircuts take on a lot more texture. We're seeing the classics become more classic and styled in a different way. Well, that's episode 21 for you. I'm excited to get on the road next week with Aloxxi. I love the fact that the barbering culture here at the workshop is evolving so readily. We're doing a lot of different things here in the workshop, and it's exciting that you are all part of it and all enjoying it, because after all, the hair industry is a very rapid and quick to evolve industry. And I love the fact that you all are taking the chance and evolving and growing and working on this custom culture with us together. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. This is Mr. Phil signing off.